on a train. They're always like fucking on public transport, ruining it for everyone, aren't they? They'll be like playing music out of like a Bluetooth speaker, real loud, or no, even worse, just out of their phone, and it's that horrible like tinny sound of like music played out of a phone speaker. Once again, I don't blame them for the fact that they're terrible people. No one would choose to be a terrible person. It's just a sad state of affairs that society has failed them in such a way that they've become a terrible person. In ideal society, those people wouldn't exist, right? Not because they'll be killed off or something. Not for that kind of reason. All right, we're not going to Xi Jinping them. They don't exist in the ideal society because good reason instead of the bad reason, because like, you know, economic opportunity and education and stuff, so that the kind of poverty which creates rubbish people doesn't exist. That would be the hope. Looks like this just needs to be extended a little bit more. Fantastic. It's a huge open space here. We're gonna have to put something in there, aren't we? In ideal, come on. In ideal society, those people wouldn't exist. Oh, up to 1,003. Wow. Do you want to take our purple pistol into our secret room? In an ideal world, we would be able to take our purple pistol into our secret room. I have a dream. A dream of a world where everyone's purple pistol gets to go. God. That was a great game, Deathloop. That was a really fantastic game. I hope they make another like it. Or another Dishonored would be even better. I know Arcane, they had like a second studio, didn't they, which did that game, which didn't work, didn't release very well. Redfall, I think it was, which was a bit of a shame. But I hope they get in that, you know, I hope that doesn't mean that they'll not have a chance to make another Dishonored, because Dishonored was an absolutely amazing game. One of the best games ever, in my opinion, which is, of course, the correct opinion. I see. Now I'm thinking there'll be like, obviously like a window up here or something, right? Essays have ruined the word lads for you now. Lads. Lads, lads, lads. I feel like lads is already kind of ruined, right? It's a fun word. It's a good word, but like ladsy behavior and stuff is generally just like not the best. A new research from Dresden in 2023 shows that people with blood type B have more red blood cells. Oh, that's interesting. Does that mean they have an easier time transporting oxygen around the body then? Or does it not really have much effect? Let's just do that. There's a great word in Australian English, actually, for like that kind of, ladsy kind of like, oh. But I guess juvenile behavior, usually of young men, which is a larrikinism. Which is, I think larrikin is a great word. Like, you could say like, oh, he's a real larrikin. I feel like the word's like really fallen out of use more recently, but I think it's still got some currency. Wait a minute, is this sticking out the it is sticking out the outside. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be good enough. That is good enough. Australopithecus afarensis. Who doesn't look Australian? Is that the answer to who doesn't look Australian? No one's come after bloke yet. Bloke. I don't know, blokey. To be described as blokey, I would say, is not particularly flattering. But yeah, I think in general, bloke still is okay. I think any word which is used to describe young men in general is likely to become a bad word because young men tend to do fucking horrible. Young men are generally the worst of society. They're the most likely to do a murder or other similarly serious crimes. Through no fault of their own, it's because young men are the most filled with the kind of hormones which prevent us from making good decisions. And, the most likely to be violent and that. But, it's not because young men are bad. It's just because of the way we evolved. I think if you just remember at all times, right, that humans are just animals. It makes it a lot easier to understand the behavior of humans in general. Like, oh yeah, we're just animals. Of course we're going to do, like, dumb shit. Like, when you expect people to not be dumb, you're just being unrealistic. You got to expect people to act as we naturally should and would. nice. AB has a 23 higher percent chance for heart attack than O. Ha, suck it, ABs. B has an 11% chance higher. Okay. So the higher density of red blood cells actually leads to, I guess that means, yeah, that kind of makes sense because a heart attack's usually it's usually like a blockage, right, which causes it. Yobbo. Yobbo is a great word too. You wouldn't want to be described as a yobbo. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't even know what I'm doing with this. It's kind of like doodling, really. Doodle, yeah. Like, is there anything fun we could do? Hooligans from Irish. Young man, there's no need to feel down. I say, young man, pick yourself off the ground. I say, young man. Hooligan from Irish. Hooligan's a good one too. It's a good word. Praise Kim Jong-un. There's 30% of people in North Korea have blood type B. Huh. Interesting. It makes sense that blood types would be concentrated in places, right? Because they're going to be, of course, there's going to be a genetic component to them. I mean, a significant genetic component. And there's a genetic component to everything to do with people, right? We say, like, we make this artificial distinction between nature and nurture, as in, like, some things are from your environment and some things are from your genetics. Really, the things from your environment are just from your genetics with extra steps. And the way to tell whether something is environmental or genetic is to put a banana in the same situation. And if the banana acts exactly the same way as a human, then it must be an entirely environmental phenomena. But if the banana acts differently to a human, well, there's probably some kind of genetics involved. 32% India, 30% Pakistan, 10% New Zealand, blood type B. Okay, so it's much more common, it seems, in South and East Asia. Is that right? Yeah, I think it looks better with like a little bit of border around it. 30% Vietnam. Huh. So it's about 30% in... Oh. Interesting that it's about 30% both in South Asia and East Asia. Because the populations, like genetically, the populations of South Asia and East Asia aren't that close to one another, are they? They're like fairly distinct. What's the word for people who draw blood for lab tests? Oh, a phlebotomist. That's a good word. I like that one. Phlebotomist. I think we could like have some more of these along along like here or something, right? Just give some cover. Although maybe, oh. Maybe we do something like this. I guess that's where it's going to go. Yeah. I wonder if there's an ethnic thing about it. If it's big in Asia, like if Maori have bee blood more often. I mean, you got to imagine there must be. But there's also like, it's one of those things which is quite beneficial to have variation in your population for. So it might be something that's selected, like the variation in it is selected for. Hmm. What if like it goes down lower, 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 too low, lower. Oh, you know what? This is gonna look dumb from underneath here, isn't it? Could just cover that up with something, maybe. Why do I always try to make a complicated shape that doesn't, that's hard to do? Don't know that you use similar word in Portuguese. In some ways, you feel like English is very specific. English has a lot of technical words usually taken from Greek, so the origin must be Latin. Yeah, often Greek and Latin. We've got a lot of scientific terms, right? I guess because the scientific revolution in a lot of ways happened in the English-speaking world. English and German-speaking worlds, and French mostly. That was when, but like especially, you know, because it was during the height of the British Empire. A lot of it was the English-speaking world. So you... Damn. There's not like a bit of roof that would work like... Oh! Oh! Slanted roof corner! That's exactly the piece of roof that we need. It has this weird thing in the middle, which I don't like. Also, it's giant compared to the one that we're using. Oh, I don't like the corner bits at all. Those are not helpful. Why is it... Why is it bigger? Why is it bigger than the other bits? Why can't it just be the same size? Because now, what am I meant to do with that? How am I meant to make this link up with my, Is there another piece that I'm just missing? It seems there's only the two inside corners. There's that one and that one. And neither of them works with my roof slanted 4x1. This is the roof slanted, this is the inside corner 4x1, so it should work with that, but it doesn't. Eastern Europe also has a bit more often than Central Europe. Moldova, almost 20%.
Smoke weed every day.
Damn right. Phlebotomer. Huh. Well, we can have a rare blood type called JK3. That is, must be rare. It's outside the ABO system. Maybe we just have to not have that. No, I feel like I'll put like a box around it here or something, put a sign on it. Yeah, we'll use it for signs. Put a little box around it and just hang some signs off the box. Then it will look fine. This is my trap house for hotboxing. Close to town roof. Man, you could do some real hotboxing in here. Actually, you'd have to like really fill the place up, wouldn't you? But it is enclosed. It is fully enclosed. Well, the doors are open, but we assume these doors can all close themselves. I think realistically, you'd probably want to have like kind of airlocks, right? Where like you have a door, then a gap, and then another door, so you're not spending as much money in the energy air conditioning the place, but whatever. I reckon just a little bit of concrete there basically covers up that weirdness of that thing being there. And then I'll just put like a sign on it. Definitely when you put like signs on stuff, it really, like adding those little details really helps, it seems, to make it look more realistic. Nice. Maybe I just pop this on here too. Actually, I kind of like it like that. We are going to need a triangle guy. Triangle man does whatever a triangle can. Whoa. Too big, Mr. Triangle. There. Good enough. We're not going to be looking closely at that. I think that is fine. Does anything matter? Nah. Even Nazi war criminals deserve medical care. Hey, that's a nice one. How did that get through? Something reasonable. What's the quote about that? Nazis are not real people, they're subhumans. Untermensch. It's true. It's true. Nazis are not real people. Let's grab some of this. I mean, that's why it's okay to shoot them, right? And blow them up and stuff. Ah, oh, fuck, I blue balled myself again. I hate it when I do that. I mean, I hate it when the international jury makes that happen. And it's not something that I have done. I'm not responsible. My mistakes are somebody else's mistakes. Am I doing populism right? What can you do to make a 9-year-old boy like you? I just want to put my carrot in the horse's mouth. What's wrong with that? Why does the law got to get involved? Exactly. Why does the law have to get involved? Why is it every time I'm trying to do something completely innocent, the damn law got to get involved? Good. The long arm of the law got to reach in where it's not wanted and infringe on my freedom to do whatever I want to whoever I want. Pretty sure that's what George Washing Machine died for. They crucified him. The British crucified George Washing Machine because he believed in the freedom of a man to put his carrot in a horse's mouth. I've read the Bible. I know my shit. You can't fool me. God, I love getting in the weeds, like really detailing the shit out of stuff. I always say, oh nah, I'll try not to detail too much. Try not to get too like too into the the nitty gritty of it, and I always do. Because secretly it's actually my favorite thing in the world, I guess. That's fine. Let's not be too silly about this. About this tiny piece of metal that no one will ever see. Wait. Quotes in a clip. It is, isn't it?